recommend that you work with your husband because I made him my manager. And then when I decided to divorce him, he had to be fired. In other words, I made him divorced and unemployed all in one day.
Wait, Wendy Williams actually siding with Sharina against Kevin Hunter? That's a twist nobody saw coming. Considering Sharina played a major role in the unraveling of Wendy's own marriage, this newfound support is eyebrow-raising. Perhaps the hardships Wendy has endured over the past few years have made her more understanding, or maybe something else is at play. For context, Sharina wasn't exactly kind to Wendy back when she was still benefiting from those alimony checks from Kevin. She reportedly threw shade left and right, criticizing Wendy while the money kept rolling in. But times have changed. Those alimony payments have stopped, and Sharina's relationship with Kevin has apparently deteriorated. Financial strain has hit hard. She's now facing multiple credit card debts, has had to move back in with her mother, and sources say Kevin has largely stopped providing for her and their daughter. The irony is striking. Someone who once indirectly benefited from Wendy's misfortune is now herself struggling and finding unexpected support from the very person she once disparaged. It's a stark reminder of how quickly circumstances can shift and how empathy, or necessity, can lead to surprising alliances. Kevin Hunter left Sharina stranded, much like he did Wendy, but the key difference is that Wendy had millions in her bank account to fall back on. Sharina, on the other hand, has virtually nothing. The messy entanglement between these three actually began back in 2019, when Wendy decided to finalize her divorce from her unfaithful husband. Kevin's betrayal wasn't just a simple affair. He had an entire child with Sharina while secretly using Wendy's money to provide for both Sharina and the child. The story is almost too outrageous to believe. Reports indicate Kevin had been seeing Sharina behind Wendy's back for a decade, even purchasing a $765,000 home less than 10 miles from Wendy's residence. Wendy has stated that she was aware of Kevin's infidelity, but she drew a hard line. She would tolerate his cheating as long as it remained private, in an effort to keep the family intact. Once it became public that he had fathered a child with another woman, Wendy didn't hesitate. She filed for divorce and walked away without looking back. Yet, ending the marriage was only the beginning of Wendy's troubles. A series of unexpected complications soon followed. Shockingly, Wendy was ordered to pay alimony to Kevin after the divorce, effectively making her the primary financial supporter in his new life. According to court documents obtained by Page 6, she was required to provide $250,000 to help Kevin purchase a new home post-divorce, in addition to maintaining his health insurance coverage under her plan. On top of that, she was paying him $12,000 per month in alimony. Meanwhile, Kevin and Sharina were living comfortably on Wendy's dime while Wendy herself struggled with her health and the challenges of returning to work. The money Wendy was giving Kevin didn't just pad his lifestyle, it also funded Sharina's various ventures, all of which ultimately failed. She enrolled in school to become a massage therapist, opened a mall kiosk in North Carolina, and launched an online jewelry and clothing line called Vish, all funded by Wendy's generosity. Kevin, too, funneled money into a barbershop that ultimately went under. What Kevin didn't anticipate, however, was Wendy's strategic navigation of these financial obligations. There was a clause in the divorce agreement stipulating that alimony would cease if Wendy's annual income dropped below twice her prior salary. Once Wendy's income fell within that threshold, the payment stopped, putting an abrupt halt to Kevin and Sharina's financial windfall. The entire saga reads like a cautionary tale of betrayal, entitlement, and financial maneuvering, a story in which loyalty, deception, and money collided, leaving Wendy to pick up the pieces while Kevin and Sharina attempted to capitalize on her generosity. When Wendy's show was abruptly canceled, Kevin's financial antics didn't skip a beat. Thanks to automated payments she had set up with her bank, he continued to receive alimony for months after the show went off-air, racking up over $112,000 in bonus payments in the process. Yet, despite this windfall, Kevin still had the audacity to drag Wendy to court, claiming that alimony was his sole source of income and painting himself as a man drowning in debt. Court documents obtained by the U.S. Sun reveal his complaints in stark detail. Kevin reportedly stated, "I have fallen behind on most of my bills. I currently live in a community that requires payments to the Homeowners Association, and I'm behind on that bill. If the Homeowners Association fees are not paid, foreclosure will soon follow." He added, "My car insurance hasn't been paid as a result of not receiving monthly severance payments. I'm behind on credit card payments because I have no money since the severance payments were suspended. My life has been greatly affected since the plaintiff stopped making payments under our settlement agreement." The irony was glaring. He and Sharina had been living lavishly off Wendy's money, yet apparently hadn't saved a single dime, assuming the payments would never stop. Kevin's financial troubles only deepened. He sold his $700,000 house for $1.2 million, but even that wasn't enough to clear his debts. Banks came calling, including UBS, who sued him over five-figure credit card arrears. He reportedly borrowed from a company called Flex Wealth to finance 2 luxury vehicles and failed to repay the loans. He was also embroiled in a legal dispute with Essential Insurance Company over damages to his Ferrari. Sharina wasn't immune to financial woes either. She found herself in debt, including defaulting on a TJ Maxx card. So serious was the situation that TJ Maxx sued her for maxing out a $3,000 line of credit and failing to repay it, a telling sign of how dire things had become. When asked by OK Magazine whether she felt sympathy for Kevin and Sharina's struggles, Wendy didn't mince words. She admitted to finding satisfaction in their misfortune, implying it was poetic justice for the way she had been treated during the marriage. Yet, sources indicate a softening stance when it comes to Sharina and her daughter, Journey, the child Kevin fathered while married to Wendy. Despite Wendy's continued financial and legal limitations due to her guardianship situation, she reportedly feels conflicted about the young girl enduring hardship through no fault of her own. The entire saga paints a picture of entitlement, mismanagement, and consequences catching up. Kevin and Sharina once thrived on Wendy's wealth, leveraging her generosity to maintain their lifestyles, but the sudden halt in payments exposed the fragility of their financial habits. Wendy, meanwhile, navigated the aftermath with a mixture of satisfaction and empathy, aware that while justice had been served in some ways, innocent parties, like Journey, were still affected by the chaos left in their parents' wake. Sources say that once Wendy is officially free from her guardianship, she intends to offer support to Sharina and her daughter. Kevin, on the other hand, is reportedly out of luck. It seems Wendy has no intention of coming to his aid, and given the mountain of debts he has accumulated, he may be facing a lifetime of financial struggle. Public opinion has been swift and harsh. One commenter argued that Kevin shouldn't have received a single cent from the divorce, pointing out that he violated his marriage vows and therefore owed Wendy nothing. Another weighed in, saying, "All Kevin had to do was be a good husband. That was it. He could have stayed wealthy, but instead, he chose a side relationship and started a family on his wife's dime." Kevin and Sharina deserve each other, and whatever consequences follow. The saga has sparked debate and curiosity. People are questioning not just Kevin and Sharina's financial downfall, but also whether Wendy will truly step in to help Sharina, as has been rumored. The situation raises broader questions about accountability, entitlement, and the ripple effects of personal choices. Now it's your turn to weigh in. What are your thoughts on Kevin and Sharina's financial collapse? And do you believe Wendy will follow through on assisting Sharina and her daughter as suggested? Share your opinions in the comments section below, and don't forget to check out this other video for more of the drama unfolding behind the scenes.